Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Two and a throw right away. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This defense for the Jets, they have certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Tua now on first down. Flush to his right. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Third and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 25-yard line. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Let's go now.
Tua now on first down. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Mostert will score. Touchdown, Miami. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They run with a second-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Wilson. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. The Jets have 1 and 3 here in the early part of the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He dumps this one off here to Hall. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jets are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Zerline good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Now this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Right.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua. Here's Johnson with a reception. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyron Johnson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They go play action now. Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
From the 6. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this will be taken at the 13. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
One of the showstoppers in the league. A nice catch there by Tyreek Hill. How about this for a statistic? 6 seasons, 6 Pro Bowls, and this guy continues to be one of the game-breaking players in the NFL. Now using his speed down south of Miami after his first 6 years in Kansas City.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And going deep for Hill. It got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. Tua to throw again. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll go as a gain of 4. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jermaine Johnson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here we go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception and intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Marquise Bell. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Here we go.
After the turnover, it's Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
From the gun, it's Tua. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Blue striking. Ready.
2nd down and goal. Tua. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 40. 20, 10, 5, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. So maybe some signs of life for this has been a defense. They've been all over the map here in this first half, but they're coming through with a big play.
And sometimes that one play is what you need. And it sounds overly simple, but this is a team that was close to being down and out before halftime. So to come back and return the interception for a touchdown, that's big.
Yeah, maybe it can serve, Charles, like you were alluding to, as a little bit of a wake-up call for them. We'll see. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He's going to try and go deep again. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? When you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal, there's a huge interception.
Look at the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them at the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Keon Crossan. And the Dolphins will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And some room to roam now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Here we go, set. Yellow.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
6, 7.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Let's go.
And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on third.
3. Black jump. Black ultra.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw going to be caught by Davis. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. The margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Throwing again on second down. Tua. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, and Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Tua setting up shop to throw again. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
8 yards. Green jack. Jack rep. Jack.
Tua going to throw. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Now Tua. That swung out to Mostert. Touchdown Dolphins. Raheem Mostert. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Down.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. That big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
They find some open field here, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's second down. Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain. To throw again on second down. Tua. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. Okay, great.
On first down, Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
And this drive will start in enemy territory as that gets out of bounds on this side of the 50.
At the Jets' 46-yard line.
Ready.
2 and now on 1st down. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Blue striker.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Tagovailoa. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Landon Collins.
And the Jets are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Marquise Bell in on that stop.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Wilson now off the bootleg. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Here we go.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Go blue.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far. And it's
Hall has it knocked loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down there.
Yeah, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not